there a motion?
I will make a motion to suspend the agenda and move to item 1, swearing in ceremony under the chief's report.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is one of our favorite things to do is to introduce new officers to the police department. So if I can have Officer Santana, Matthew Sibio, and Auxiliary Martin Spital come stand up here, please. These are Portsmouth's 3 newest officers. Officer Santana, Officer Eusebio, and Auxiliary Ron Spidell, who will be joining as a part-time and auxiliary officer. Officer Anthony Santana began his employment with the Portsmouth Police Department on December 8, 2025. He graduated summa cum laude from Salem State University in Salem, Massachusetts, earning a Bachelor's of Science degree in criminal justice with a minor in forensic science. He's a strong academic foundation combined with his bilingual fluency in English and Spanish, equips Officer Santana with the skills necessary to serve Portsmouth's diverse community and visitors effectively. Next, we'll move on to Officer Matthew Sibio. Did I say it right, Matt? I've been practicing. Began his employment with the Portsmouth Police Department on January 5th, 2026. He resides in Portsmouth with his wife and 2 children. Matthew is a 12-year veteran of the Army National Guard and holds a bachelor's degree in communications from the University of New Hampshire. He's a graduate of the 193rd New Hampshire Police Academy and began his law enforcement career in Milford Police Department in 2023. His military service, academic background, and prior law enforcement experience equip Officer Eusebio with leadership, communication skills, and professionalism essential to serving the Portsmouth community. Auxiliary Officer Martin Spidell began his service with the Portsmouth Police on January 19th. He brings with him an extensive law enforcement career spanning 31 years and retired in 2025 from Dover Police Department at the rank of lieutenant. In addition to this role with the Portsmouth Police Department, he also serves as a part-time officer with the University of New Hampshire Police Department. His decades of experience and proven leadership provide a valuable asset to Portsmouth Police Department and the community it serves. Now, if I can have the 3 of you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your names. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all duties incumbent on me. You guys sound, come on. As a police officer, constable, and night watchman of said city of Portsmouth, according to the best of my ability, agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and laws of the state of New Hampshire, and the rules and regulations of the city of Portsmouth. So help me God. Now, I'll read this, you don't have to repeat. By virtue of the authority invested in me through the Police Commission and RSA 105-C, trusting in your integrity, fidelity, do hereby constitute and appoint you a police officer, constable, and night watchman of said city of Portsmouth, with all the power and authority, all subject to all the duties and liabilities provided by law. Congratulations. We look forward to their additions to the police department. Matthew, being a lateral officer, will be in our field training program immediately, along with Marn, and Officer Santana will be waiting to go to the police academy. And with that, that is all we have, unless you'd like to stay and enjoy our police commission meeting. But if not, you're free to leave.
Really nice watching the chief trying to pin those badges on.
That was cool.
These are great moments.
So glad we do this. Really nice. It is important. Used to just be done like in the chief's conference room. And, glad that it gets on camera.
Night, Detective.
It's like, it's constant, like whispers. Yep.
What is teaching you about natural gas for back then?
Oh, there's a scent of natural gas in the building.
It's like yelling.
Yeah, I'm sure this is.
We will now resume the Police Commission meeting, and looking for a motion as to last meeting's minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minute meetings from the December 16th commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And now is our opportunity for public comment, and it does not appear that we have anyone here to make public comment. I assume there's nobody online. We would know otherwise. So there ends our public comment session. And new business, first, the appointment of commission chair and appointment of the clerk. And is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we elect Commissioner Scheer as our chairman.
I second that.
I'll ask the two of you to vote since I can't vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And next, a motion for the election of our commission clerk.
I make a motion to appoint Commissioner Vernon to be our clerk.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
A very brief comment before we, representative of the Ethics Committee. And now the drum roll for the drawing is
The drawing by lot.
by lot.
I'll have the deputy chief.
I think
just
you did
put his
this
hand
last
in.
time, too.
The name of each commissioner in here.
The winner is...
Congratulations, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to choose to waive off my right to protest this election. Thank you.
I'll give you the sticker.
Brief comment. I follow on the heels of both Chair Coyle and Chair Shaheen, with whom I both served, and they were great models. My belief, as was their belief, is that the job of the Police Commission and the chair is to be an advocate for the police department and also be a oversight of the police department. We have a dual role, and I think the last 4 years that I've been on the commission, the chair has done a great job at following that role, and it's my intention to continue. So, facilities update, the Municipal Building Blue Ribbon Committee. I'm the member, the commission's member on that committee. We've not had a meeting since I last reported. Our next meeting is on February 11th at 4 o'clock. It's a public meeting. Those of you who are interested in what we are doing in terms of a new police facility of some sort, be it a rehab of the current place, an expansion of the department, and other city functions within this building, I encourage you to appear on February 11th at 4 o'clock in conference room A. It's important. It's particularly important to the police department, as we are in need of more space and more room for us to perform the community policing function that we have been performing as well as we possibly can under our current conditions. So I encourage you to show up. Chief, you have anything to say about remediation?
Just that we're still waiting for the final numbers to come back, but we are looking to start that remediation dispatch hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Thank you. Do we have any sense of, I know we've spent, do you have a recollection, or does Karen, either of you have a recollection how much we spent so far on remediation?
I think, if I remember correctly, it was about 300,000 on remediation throughout the PD, and then remediation, because we've had to redo several areas in the police department.
Do we have any sense of what the latest phase of remediation is going to be?
I don't have those numbers in yet, but it'll probably be that and some.
Yet another reason that the work of the Blue Ribbon Committee is particularly important to the police department. It's not on the agenda, but a question for the chief or the deputy chief. Where are we in terms of Central Square, the CAD RMS system?
It's going pretty well. I'm going to let the deputy speak on that because that's kind of been his project. But for the most part, it's a new system. We're getting through the bumps. We're getting some of our questions answered. We're making do with what we have at this point. I think there's still some things as far as like eCrash, that's kind of a separate module from the base of Central Square that we're still working through the kinks, and that it's still working with the state to get that working properly. But I'll pass it on to the deputy for further.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, it's a huge project, so there's many aspects to it. I will say, right now, so we went live November 4th. So, right now, day-to-day operations, taking police reports, completing arrest reports, dispatching is all running fine. We're doing that. We're doing that without any issues. New habits are being formed as far as how to use the new system. We're at a point where all the old data that was in our legacy system, which is 30 years worth of police data, which is vast amounts of information, was migrated into the new software. And we found that when we go back and try to look at the old data in the new system, it can be confusing and might not seem to make sense for us. So we still have the legacy system, IMC, still up and running. So suffice to say, anything prior to November 4th, 2025, we're viewing it and extracting it from the old system. Anything to the right of November 4th, we're using the new system to get that information. But the migration of the data, we just feel more reliable looking at the old system than looking at the old data in the new system.
Is that going to change over time, that you're going to be able to look at the old data in the new system better?
I don't necessarily think so. There's a lot of things that got copied over that are in different formats, and we have no intention of shutting down the old system at all, so we'll always have that available to us. And the further we get from November 4th, the more we're just going to be looking in the new system for the data. There are, I know obviously analytics and statistics is a big part of the new system. We're still in the process of training the new analytics software as it integrates into the new Central Square Pro. So that's still a work in progress. We have our second installment of that training coming up in 2 weeks. And then there's the whole aspect of the J1 piece where our crash reports, our criminal complaints, and our speeding tickets will be automatically electronically submitted to the courts and to the state. So that's a new module that had to get built for this program. We are submitting crashes through J1 right now. It's been a little bit of a rocky start, but we're smoothing things out. Some updates have been made, so that is better. So all in all, in the relatively short period of time we've been live, we're faring pretty well, but still a work in progress.
Great to hear.
Yeah, and to add to that, we had both Nashua PD and Salem PD are both transitioning from IMC to ProSuite, just like we did, and we had them in 2 weeks ago. A number of members of their command staff and agencies came to kind of get a post-mortem, if you will, of our go-live, and we met with them for a couple hours and gave them some great insights on what to look for, issues that we had, and hopefully set them up to have a smoother go-live than we had. Not to say that ours was horrible, but it was...
The nature of embedding new software.
Right.
Another example, to me anyway, of the cooperation that Portsmouth PD has with any number of departments on any number of issues around the state. Where are we? Are we now at a point with body-worn cameras that all our officers have body-worn cameras, or where are we with that?
Yes, every officer's been outfitted with a body-worn camera, and that's been a smooth transition.
And by and large, a good reception on the part of the officers?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's kind of incredible how quickly they've become second nature. I don't even really think people think about them anymore. It's just literally a part of the equipment that they use. And I looked at it, I think about a week ago, and we store all the digital evidence on a cloud-based software. And the cameras also have a screen capture for a photograph. So a lot of instances where an officer may take a photograph of a crime scene or a photograph of something that's done on the camera now. And when I looked about 2 weeks ago, I think we already had over 30,000 pieces of digital evidence taken from the body cams, both videos and screen captures.
Simplifies scene processing.
Yeah, it makes it a lot quicker for the patrol officers. Use it anytime we have a crime scene and we're doing crime scene photography. That's obviously done by the investigative division, but that just goes to show in the less than 12 months of 8 months that they've been live, we have over 30,000 pieces of evidence in there. So
it's nice to have officers who are younger than some of us on this commission to learn quicker. Any questions? Chief of Police?
All right. The next only thing I have is we received an unsolicited donation in the amount of $1,000 from Portsmouth residents Paul Gormley and Kimmy Iguchi from Portsmouth for the police department. Yearly, they generally make a donation to the police department to thank you for all the work they do and show their appreciation for the department. Well, they sent it with a Christmas letter with a donation of $1,000. So I need a vote to accept
Is
that.
there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the $1,000 donation from Paul Gromley and Kimi Iguchi for the Portsmouth Police Department and forward to the City Council for their action.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Crime analyst report.
Sure, thank you. So this month, we're looking at the entire calendar year 2025 versus the average of the 3 previous calendar years. So calls for service, we're down 11.6% at 38,135. Arrests, we are at 888, which is just under a 4% decrease. Offense reports or police reports, 2,152, which is a 12.7% decrease, and reportable motor vehicle crashes decreased by 10% to 449. Motor vehicle stops or traffic offenses down 18.6% to 6,657.
Any questions? As I am wont to do, I do have a question for the Deputy Chief. Would it be fair to say the decline in motor vehicle stops offenses of 18.6% is at least in part due to the our staffing shortages?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest contributing factor because most, if not all, of our shifts have minimum manning numbers where we don't have the additional officers being down 8 at the moment. We don't have the typical spare units on that are not necessarily just taking calls for service, but in large part running traffic enforcement. So just by virtue of the fact that we don't have those officers on the street at the moment has a direct impact on that number.
Any questions from other commissioners?
Do we have, how many openings do we have for,
8.
8.
and we have applicants in the chute, so to speak?
We do.
2
Okay.
in the background right now.
Excellent, thank you.
Traffic statistics, my favorite topic.
And more specifically, for the month of December 2025, 422 motor vehicle stops, which is 76 more than the month of December. Summonses issued, 16 total summonses, which is 4 more than December, and reportable motor vehicle crashes at 39, 12 more than December.
I apologize, Deputy Chief, I don't have any questions.
That's okay.
Financial report.
Excuse me, we're currently 50% through the fiscal year, and we're tracking at 1.85% below the cap of 48.15. We were told today that our FY26 budget will be adjusted to reflect the Professional Management Association settlement. That contract settled, and they'll be putting money in because we have non-contractual people and PMA people that impacts. As well as some funding allocated for the non-ranking MOU that was recently voted in by the PC and the City Council. Those funds will help offset costs for this fiscal year. We continue to work on the FY27 budget. Everybody received the initial draft documents to review earlier this month, and a dialogue will be initiated in preparation for our public hearing on the 11th at 5 p.m. So
Thank you for circulating that draft. It's very helpful.
yeah, and I was gonna say any questions and whatnot, we can discuss at a different time. As stated in this particular budget, the FY27 budget, we are anticipating adding a social worker that'll be 100% grant funded. I guess we just have to wait for the Executive Council in Concord to vote that next month, and then we can actually put it in the budget, so. Otherwise, the FY27 budget will be a level services budget. In terms of grants, the ICAC, the federal ICAC grant was approved and accepted at the federal level. We're just waiting for them to sign off on the budget of that grant, and then we can start expending those funds. The Bulletproof Vest grant was submitted, and we're awaiting approval of that. Usually comes March, April. We were notified by Representative Pappas's office that an allocation we applied for is progressing. That allocation was to offset IT costs for the new renovation, new build for the police department in the amount of about $1 million. It's for a complete new security system, a complete new IT system, rewiring, everything. We also received notification from Senator Shaheen's office stating that the ICAC funding of $1 million that we'll share with Fox Valley Technical College, 50-50 with them, should be coming. So hopefully by our next meeting or the March meeting, we'll have documentation for you to vote on it and on those. And then the strategic plan, we're in the preliminary stages of outlining the new strategic plan for FY27 and out 5 years. So if you have any comments in reference to that as well, we can incorporate those. But we'll probably have a draft to you in a few months.
Thank you. One point to make. A team, including the chief, the deputy city manager, the welfare officer, school social worker, department social worker, and others went up to talk to the Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission a couple of weeks ago. They had initially tabled our request for a 3-year grant for additional social worker for the police department and one for the school system, and we were asking them to take it off the table and approve the grant, and they ended up approving the grant for 2 years, $400,000 each year. It was a remarkable team effort on part of a number of departments, including the police department, the police commission, the welfare office, the school superintendent who was there, the school social worker, the police social worker. It was really a wonderful team effort, and I got a call that same night after they approved the $800,000 grant from an individual who I had talked to several times leading up to the meeting, who was opposed to taking it off the table and approving the money. And he just called to say, I want Portsmouth to come and get us some money too. It was very, very complimentary of the job that was done by the team that went up there. So I just want everybody to appreciate the work that the city as a whole is doing in finding sources of money to improve our police department, and for that matter, to improve our schools. So congratulations to everybody on that team. Any questions? I think other business, I will point out that on Wednesday, February 11th at 5 o'clock, Chief Newport, along with the Police Commission, will present the Police Department's proposed FY27 budget at a public hearing. It will be held in the school conference room in City Hall. I encourage members of the public to attend, to poke holes in what is presented, to ask us questions, to challenge us, to support us, whatever you think is appropriate. We care about input from the residents of the city, and we encourage you to show up. That, again, is Wednesday, February 11th at 5 o'clock in the school board conference room here in City Hall. Unless there's any other business, our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, February 18th at 5:30 in this same place. Keep checking the city's website. It's possible we may schedule that for another time, but right now it's Tuesday, February 18th at 5:30 in City Hall. Anything further?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So adjourned.